Sam, many top Democrats want President Trump to cancel this meeting. The meeting is still on. Is that a big mistake? Well, not just top Democrats. Some Republicans want him to cancel it as well.
John McCain said earlier he should cancel it. I think he should cancel it, but not just because of these indictments. He was unprepared for this meeting before the indictments came out. What we learned today is that more members of the GRU, the Russian intelligence unit within their military, were involved. But that doesn't change the fact that Trump had no preparation before he went to Europe to get ready to talk about Syria or arms control or any of the other issues on the table. He went to NATO, barely talked about Russia, went to the UK, barely talked about Russia, and now he's walking into the room by himself with a guy that has years of experience at manipulation, and the president is, again, woefully unprepared.
Why? Why is he doing that?
He either thinks he knows better, he's smarter than everyone else. We're hearing he's not even bringing his national security advisor in.
Or he wants to say something to him that he doesn't want anyone to hear.
What does he not want a translator to hear, a note taker to hear, or his own national security advisor to hear? So he's thinking, okay, I can do this by myself. I know arms control, I know Syria, and maybe we'll talk about this other stuff.
I may have been born yesterday, but I still went shopping. I mean, come on. So, Steve, here's a top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee on Trump and Putin's one-on-one. Watch this.
I've been concerned for some time that the president's ad hoc style of going into meetings and winging it isn't appropriate, particularly when you're dealing with someone like Vladimir Putin, who's been on the world stage for 20 years, former KGB agent. He will come in with his facts, with maps, and I'm afraid that actually the president could be taken advantage of.
You know, Putin is a trained KGB agent with 16 years in the agency. Trump is famously impulsive. What can and should Trump expect sitting across the table from someone like Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, Donna, I think it's a really fascinating question because a lot of thought has been given, okay, is Trump ready? Is he prepared? What are his plans? But it's really interesting to look at it from the Russia angle. And, you know, I've been going back and forth in my mind as to, okay, what is Putin's approach going to be? How is he going to see Trump? Is it going to be Putin, the case officer, and Trump, the asset? I don't think so. I actually think that Vladimir Putin sees Donald Trump as his American oligarch. You understand that Putin has this whole series of oligarchs in Russia who do what he needs done, and he then allows them to get really, really rich. It's a similar type of situation that we have with Donald Trump. When Donald Trump was having difficulties earlier in his career and no banks would lend him money, a lot of money started to come in from places that were connected to Russia. So I think Putin has all sorts of conversations with oligarchs. You know, you got to build me another stadium because World Cup soccer is coming and, I let you be a rich guy. So now you need to do something for me. I think it's going to be a similar, not identical, but a similar dynamic with Donald Trump. Putin knows that he's given him all sorts of money. And I think Donald Trump knows that if Putin were to choose to say, here's exactly how we did that or let that leak, it would be very, very bad for Donald Trump. That's, I think, what's going to happen in the quiet part of the meeting where nobody else is around. I don't know if it's going to be, said directly or whether it's just going to be left there to be understood. But, that's how I think Putin is going to approach this meeting with his American oligarch.
Sam, you were talking about his lack of preparation. What type of prep work normally goes into a meeting like this? How much is prep work and how much is gut?
It's mostly prep work. You don't go with your gut when you're dealing with a hostile power. And let's remember, we're under live attack by Russia right now. So you're not walking into a friendly meeting. You're walking in, the president won't say it, but I will, to talk to an enemy. You're meeting your attacker. So under those circumstances, you normally start prepping months in advance. You have situation room meetings where you talk about what you want your agenda to be, and to Steve's point, what the intel analysis is and what your adversary is going to be thinking about you. So how is Putin going to be approaching the meeting? That involves listening to your intelligence community, listening to your national security advisor, extensive meetings, extensive briefings, and really paying attention to the details on these complex issues. No one wants you to wing it on arms control. No one wants you to wing it on Syria. You need to know your facts and listen to the experts.
Yeah, and let's